So, good evening or good morning, wherever you are. I hope you are doing well. This is JP, and welcome to Live Ask Me Anything. So, let's get this show on the road. Hello, hope you're doing okay. How is your evening or your morning, wherever you are? So, here, obviously, it's 8:30 in the UK, and I hope you guys are all doing well. I'm just going to do a couple of announcements and then we'll get going. This is a Ask Me Anything session. So, first of all, you can ask me anything you want to, and then also at the same time, this is also sponsored, and it's a sponsored live stream, and this is sponsored by DistroKid, which is a distribution company for basically you sending out your music, your singles, your albums, whatever you want to do to things like all the different streaming sites, all the different music stores digitally. And we have joined up with them, and we have a link which is on the screen now, which is just there. And it's distrokid.com/VIP/John Paul Music UK. If you click that link, you get 7% off your first annual membership. The thing that DistroKid does is you can release as many songs as you want for one price, which is $19.99 per year. Think about that for a second. How many albums you could release, how many singles you could release all your live streams if you want to, all on audio. And that is basically one price, and we're going to give you 7% off that. Now, you can actually get a couple of different tiers. So there's like the label version where you can have as many different artists as you want, and that's around about $80, and we can give you 7% off that as well. So that link's there. This is a sponsored one from that, so they have decided to sponsor me. So thank you very much, DistroKid, for sponsoring this live stream. Now, ask me anything. You can ask me anything. So you're welcome to ask me anything that we do. So we're looking at obviously live streaming. We have loopers here. They've got the new RC500 and the Boss RC5. I've got this contraption in the corner here, which I'm going to discuss in a moment, which I haven't done a video on yet. It's not out yet. I'm still filming it because this piece of kit is something else. It really is something else. And it's something that I've wanted a piece of kit like this for a couple of years, and it's one of these things which is a dream for people who use a lot of pedals. So I'll go into that in a minute. You might the keen eye of you might know what that is, but I'm going to let you know in a couple of minutes' time. So the Ask Me Anything sessions are exactly that. Just ask me anything you like. Say hi first of all. Tell me where you are, and then your responses will come up in the chat, which is just here. Oh, sorry, just here. There we go. So it should come up in the chat, and then be able to have a chat and see what's going on. So I'm here for around about an hour, maybe a bit longer, to see how we go with this. But I just wanted to talk as well about a couple of things. So first of all, I have been doing obviously a lot of live streaming videos, and I've got streams. I've got playlists on them, but also as well, we're going back into live looping. So I've got the Boss C500, and we've got the Boss RC5, and we've got the Switch FS7 as well. I'm going to do a video on that, and live looping is one of these things. I always say live looping. I should just say looping, shouldn't I? But looping is one of these things where it's a great tool for just basically getting your ideas down, right through to performing live, sort of the Katie Tunstall, Ed Sheeran esque kind of thing, right through to just, as I say, you've got an idea for a harmony. Does it work? You're not sure because it's just yourself. You could actually plug a microphone in and do your harmonies there. So I just wanted to show you that because it's looping is a massive part of what I do, but also at the same time, I know that a lot of people are scared about it, and it's a bit of a scary thing, or we have problems with timing. And I've just put a 1 minute short on the YouTube channel, literally about 2 hours ago, of a cool little thing that both these can do. Now, when you press record and you go huh, and hit it, it kicks in with the rhythm pretty much straight away when you arm it. There's a cool little thing you can do, which is called before loop. And what you can do is you can set the rhythm for before the loop. So you hit it and the rhythm starts first to give you not just a count in, but it just keeps going until you're ready. And then you hit it again. And it doesn't matter whether you hit it bang on bar one, beat one, or whether you hit it sort of like about half a bar before, it kicks in at the right time, which is really, really good. And these two are fundamental upgrades. So if you've got things like the Boss RC30 or you've got the RC3, these are fantastic pieces of kit. So these two, I'm doing a lot of videos on, and there is a playlist for that. The other side, of course, is streaming. Now, at the moment, what I'm doing is I'm actually using just Restream.io at the moment, and these guys have a thing called Restream Studio. So all this stuff that you can see around me, this is actually, I made that, but then put it onto Restream, and that's it. So Restream, I'm with them as well, and I have a thing for them where you can join Restream.io. So if you want to stream out to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Periscope, and then LinkedIn is looking to start doing it as well, and that's what we're doing right now. We're streaming to all 5 of them at the same time. Then you can click the link at the very bottom, and it's completely free. Restream is completely free, and you can use the studio completely free as well. But if you want to get rid of the branding and stuff like that, you do have to pay. But if you click my link, which is restream.io/join/John Paul Music UK, you'll get £10 of Restream credit, which can go towards your first month, for example. But there's loads of stuff that we do. Now, the other thing as well is you can obviously follow me and follow what I do. I'm going to be starting to do a lot more stuff around sort of performance-based stuff. And we've got things like performance with loopers, performance with keyboards, how to break stuff down. So I'm going to do a performance, and then I'm actually going to break it all down and show you how I did it. And a lot of people, sort of playing or performing from home, you might be restricted. You might be restricted in what you can do. So I'm obviously on those 5 that I said, Facebook and YouTube and all that jazz as well. But also Instagram as is a big one for me as well. So have a look, obviously, at John Paul Music UK and give me a follow, give me a like. We just went over 6,500 subscribers on YouTube, which is just amazing. And I know that we've been a little while, but I can't believe like how many people just keep subscribing. So I'm really thank you very much. It really does mean a lot to me because it keeps me going. And to keep me going, to see what I did there, nice little pun. If you want to speak to me and you want to ask me a question right now, you can ask me anything. Then obviously you can hit me up in the chat. You can super chat me if you want, if you are on YouTube, or what you can do if you want to support the page, you can buy me a coffee, which is buymeacoffee.com/John Paul Music UK. So you see where I'm going with that. Right then. So that's enough of the sort of announcements, as it were. Any other business? Ask me anything. Where are you guys from? Where are you? Where are you signing in from? Where are you watching from? I say it's about sort of just gone 20 to 9 here in the UK, and just let me know what's going on, whether you want any looping help, whether you want any performance help, whether you want any help with live streaming, like with this microphone and what I'm plugged into and the Mac and everything, or if you've just got basically a question, you can ask me anything if you want to. So I'm just going to basically show you a couple of things. So as I say, this is sponsored by DistroKid, which is a distribution company. If you are a musician, or even if you're doing stuff with audio in general, so they are a fantastic place to actually put your music, and they'll send it out to things like Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora in the US, Amazon Music, and then you basically get the benefits back. You're in control of everything. Now, what DistroKid have just done, and it's only a couple of weeks old, they have just announced a new thing called Upstream. You have to be a DistroKid member, so click the link and then you can be a DistroKid member. And what Upstream is where you can be completely independent, obviously, on DistroKid, and that's fine. But some people do want to be connected with labels. So if you are connected with labels, then you want to be connected to a label, then what DistroKid are doing is they are doing this thing called Upstream, where labels come and find you. This is huge, and it's going to be huge for them in 2021. And I'm talking to them about that, about how that's going to work, and we may, try and get someone over to kind of explain that to us. Maybe in an interview, we'll try and do that. But have a look at DistroKid Upstream, and you have to be a DistroKid member, so click a link. Captain Sideways, hello John Paul. Found you via David. David. If you don't know who David Chanhun is, he's got an amazing channel. Again, looping, live performance. While back in the comments of a live stream, I'm starting my looping journey again from scratch. Looking forward to learning with you. Nice. So, what are you doing with looping? First of all, are you playing the traditional old guitar and vocals, or are you doing something with keyboards? And also, What are you looking to do looping wise? I know David's had the Voice Live 3 for ages now. He's gone over to the RC300, and I'm having a look at you know, the 2-track loopers. I've got also a 4-track looper, which is this bad boy, which is the Headrush looper board. Now this thing is a monster and it's fantastic. It's not perfect, no looper is, but it's trying its best to be as close as, damn it, to all of them. So let's have a look. Interested in the physical wiring up of all your gear. Do you route via a mixer and then into a door, or do you DI straight into the door? So it's a good question. With that thing, I'm not lifting it up again. With that looper board, it's got 4 outs. So it's got a main out and a sub out, basically. You've got 4 outs. And what you could do is that can become an audio interface as well. So you can plug that directly into your computer and then you just plug everything you want in. And what it does is you can, on a door, you can set it so track 1 to 4, it will basically come straight in. With something like the RC500, it's quite good because you've got basically an independent mic level now, and it used to be, or sorry, it is on the RC30, that mic, if you plug in, it comes out of both the left and the right. You can't change that. You can't route it. On the RC500, you can, which is really, really useful. And a big request from me, definitely. If you're using something like this, like the RC5, like a 1-track looper, it literally is left and right out stereo. That's it. So with that, the trick would be to then route that out to a mixer. If you were to plug in to say something like I've got here, my microphone is plugged into a Focusrite 2i2, the 2nd generation, because this is an older Mac. But if you were to plug into that, then you'd hear one on one side and one on the other. So then in a DAW, that's fine. You can just mix it. But if you're streaming live, then you can do a couple of things where you can say stereo mix or mono mix. I'd go mono, if I'm honest, because most people want to hear it as opposed to go, oh, that sounds weird on that side and that sounds weird on that side, and not be interested. They just want to hear a clear sound. So there's loads you can do. And it just depends, obviously, on what you're playing and how you're playing. So let's have a quick look. Guitar, vocals, and keyboards after a DT Express 5 special drum set. Wow! Starting with the Akai Headrush 2, and then got an RC30, and then got a VL3. Wow! You've gone through it. You've gone through the walk. I think with the Headrush, the problem with the Akai, the Akai Headrush, yeah. So the Akai Headrush, it's not that Headrush. The Akai Headrush E2, that was my first looper because that's what Katie Tunstall had, and that's what I found. And it was, it was a pain in the bum. It was an absolute pain in the bum. And there's no undo on it, and you had to plug into a mixer and then plug that mixer mono into the router. So yeah, it's crazy. Babington in the house. You may notice as well, by the way, this chat, you may notice this is basically called Restreamed Rechat. And the reason for that is because if you're on if you're on YouTube and then if you're on Facebook as well, you can see it. So everyone can talk to one another. It's really nice, as opposed to me saying something and then everyone on YouTube's like, what's he talking about, Babington in the house? But it's on Facebook. Hey man, how's Ron? I hope you're well. Having a little sip as it's the weekend. So, if you just joined us, we are... Let me take that off. If we just joined us, basically, we're doing a live stream, which is Ask Me Anything. Ask me anything. Ask me anything you like. I might not answer it, but obviously ask me anything you like. If you want help with looping, live streaming, with what I do with this stuff right now. So I'll break this down when we go into live streaming. And that's what we did quite deeply in the last one. Because this is an iPhone plugged into the computer, just with the cable it comes with, plugged in, and I'm just using Restream.io, and they have a system which is called their Live Studio. So all this gubbins that you can see with the Restream chat, I've made these, and I made that on Procreate on my iPad, and then saved it, and then put it on here, so made it sure it's the right shape and size. But I can basically turn these off. I can turn the chat off. I'm not going to do that. And I can do lots of different things. But also, I can bring up like captions. I can bring up things from the chat. So let's bring up Bevington in the house. So, you can do all this stuff. And this is all free, by the way. You can just go to restream.io and you can actually get all that stuff up. But if you want to, you can actually, I've got a link for them. So you can get like $10 of Restream credit as well. But this live stream is actually sponsored, and it's sponsored by DistroKid. DistroKid are a distribution company where you can get your music out there in the world. A lot of people go, well, how do you get your music on Apple Music? How do you get your music on Spotify? How do you get your music? You do it through a distribution company, and DistroKid is the one that I like the most because what they do is they do it for one price per year as opposed to paying every release. There's ones where you pay every single release, whereas this you just pay one price per year, and as long as you're getting a couple of tunes out per year, it's covered. You haven't wasted your money, but also at the same time, think about the fact that it's unlimited. You could actually do live stream performances, record that live stream, and then just push it out. People go, oh, that live stream last week was great. I wish I could hear it again. Well, guess what? It's available in a couple of days on Apple Music or on Spotify. You could just push it out. It's really, really cool. And then that way, people are obviously going to get to see your stuff and hear it almost like a podcast or a live stream. You could do it that way. So so there's loads of stuff we can do. So let's have a quick look at the chat. What's going on? Alan, that's a good question, isn't it? Let's bring that up. Is Restream free? Yes, it is. So Restream.io is completely free to begin with, but they do put branding on their own branding if you go for the free option. If you want to take that branding off, you can do. And I am trying to, there we go, that one. That one. Cool, right. I'm just going to share my screen. Let's just bring that off, and I'll show you, Alan. Let me show you this now. That one. There. Right, so I'm doing all this through Restream, by the way. All of this is being done through Restream, everything. So I'm just going to take off that graphic. Give me 1 sec so you can see it. So the free forever one, basically, you've got Restream Studio. You can actually use that. So stream, invite guests, screen share. Basic version comes without custom graphics and includes a watermark. And then you can actually invite guests. It is completely free forever. You can stream to 30 platforms in different platforms if you want to. There's loads of platforms. There's ones I didn't even know about. I didn't even knew they existed. Then you got the standard one, which is $16 a month, which is annually. So you get everything free plus one custom or extra channel. And then this is the one where a lot of people, if you've got your own page or group, this is the one you want. So this one you can stream to your public Facebook page if you want to, but if you've got your own Facebook page or group, this is the one you want. And then you've got recording as well, so it can record it for you. So mine's being recorded right now for me. I didn't have to do anything, it's just doing it for me automatically. Then you've got the professional one, and this is what I'm on, and this is basically one, you've got everything in this one, plus you've got 3 custom channels. So you could say, for example, 2 different channels, 2 YouTube channels, depending what you want to do. And your own RTMP link, if you know what that is. And then you've got no Restream branding, and that's the big one. So if you're a band and you're playing and you want to show your logo, or if you're a musician or you're an artist, or if you're just doing yoga, you want to actually take the branding off. Restream Studio Pro has got custom logos and graphics as well. So for example, I can put my own logo up on here in the top right hand corner if I want to. I'll take that off at the moment because the chat's in the way. And of course I can upload my own stuff to it. You can see also that I've just shared that screen, so you can do lots more, and there's loads more information there, like who it's trusted by, who's using it and things like that. Great. Now I'm just gonna turn that off. There we go. Let's have a quick look here. Where are we? Let's go back to the chat. When you sit down at a blank canvas, do you have a particular order of how you lay things down when creating, or do you just go with the flow and see what comes out? This is a really good question. Certainly when you come to looping, it depends on what you're on, but obviously I'm on Apple. Okay, I use Apple products, and the thing with that is I use the Apple make GarageBand, and they make Logic and things, but on the phone they make GarageBand, and they also make another as well, which is called Music Memos. So bear with me. Cool. So They also make Music Memos, and Music Memos is a free app. There we go. Hopefully we're all good. Yeah, cool. So yeah, Music Memos is a free app. Now it's gonna be losing support, and you won't be able to download it from next month. But I use Music Memos. So I used to use voice memos to like get an idea down, and then what I do is use Music Memos, which is really really good. Give me one sec. So the thing with that is basically with music memos, you can save the BPM. I really, really love that, and I think that's cool. Certainly, when you get in looping, I've got a looping idea, get it down, any idea to be honest, and then when I go back to it, I'll replay it and have a look through a looper, or I may just be on the piano. It depends if it's like a a romantic song or it's a rock song or anything like that. So it depends on what we're doing. Cool. So yeah, so I have different ways of doing stuff. I use things like music memos. That's massive for me. But then at the same time, I've just grabbed the guitar and just sat in a corner and come up with twiddly twiddlies and ended up with a song. So it depends on what you want to do. So let's just put that back up there. There we go. And then let's just put that one back up there. That's the one I wanted. There we go. Cool. So thank you very much for the question. That's lovely. So yeah, so when I'm creating stuff, once I've got like something I know I'm going to run with, I'll run to a looper then and see if I can create harmonies. That's how I create most of my harmonies, like through trial and error. Does this work? Does that not work? And then get it down in a DAW. And that's how I create a song. So there's loads I can do. Alan, cool, thank you. Currently using Ecamm, but looking to stream to multiple platforms. Yeah, so there's all these different platforms. Ecamm are talking about like multi-streaming, but I think there's some limitations to that. Restream.io were really the sort of like pinnacle people to go for when it came to restreaming, because they just went, we'll push it out. And the really nice thing as well is, as long as your streaming is okay. I'm having one or two signal problems this evening, but that's because of me, not because of Restream. But they are really good at keeping that level quite high, which is good. Have you ever used Streamlabs? Yes, I have. And the thing is, I also use OBS. So I use OBS, like normal OBS, not just Streamlabs or slobs as people call it. So I normally use OBS. The reason I'm using this is I want to see I want to push it. I want to see how far I can push it at the moment. So I'm just using Restream.io. And to be quite honest, the really nice thing is you'll notice I'm using this microphone. So in the settings, and this is all through a web browser, by the way, there's no software to install. I'm not installing anything. I'm not learning how to install and learn a whole new thing like Streamlabs or OBS. You literally go to a web browser, go to Restream.io, log in, and because my audio interface is plugged in, it knows. So in the settings, it goes, well, what do you want to use? I go, well, I want to use the Focusrite. Thank you very much. And plugging into the Focusrite is a lovely, nice microphone, which is this lovely microphone by Aston Microphones, which is called the Stealth. And it has 4 different voices, which is really, really cool. And it's not just clever EQing, it's 4 different circuitries inside this microphone. So you've got V1, V2, G, and D. V1 is predominantly for male vocals. V2 is for female vocals. G is meant for guitars, and D is meant to be dark, as in a rhythm microphone. And the real cool thing is you can use it with or without 48 volts. So if you're doing guitars, you just turn the 48 volts off and plug it in. Sorry, I completely digressed onto this microphone. I don't know how I did that. So yes, so I have used Streamlabs. I mainly use OBS, but at the moment, what I want to do is I actually just want to see how far I can push Restream.io. Now, the sort of Restream.io, right, lies in their studio at the moment, is basically the one thing they don't do is, well, they do, or they're looking to come soon, is multi-camera support. Now, multicam, I'm using basically a camera here. I normally use this phone as well as another camera over there, and I do that with OBS, and I can change between the two, and you can use that with the Streamlabs as well. But right from the studio, you can't do that in the studio. Hopefully yet. Now you can invite people in. You can, if you were my guest, for example, I could invite you in and we could be side by side, as you see me now. So we can do interviews and things like that. And with I'm on the professional one, so you can do up to, I think, 10 participants. With the free one, you can do 6 participants, which is cool. And before you ask the question, no, you can't all gig together. The delay is just too much because you can't, because of like latency. But you could do it where someone plays and then the next one goes over and they play and the next one goes over and they play. You can do that. Now the other one is StreamYard, and StreamYard obviously is free, and that's got a lot of attention as well because they're doing a lot of good things over there as well. So no disrespect to any streaming sites. Restream.io is what I know. Restream.io is basically the one that I find is easiest for me, and I like the fact that they do storing of your recordings, so I don't have to put extra load on my computer to hit record as well as stream. That's what OBS does, but it takes extra load. So let me have a sip of water. Right. Good question. Rennie, good evening. How are we? I hope you're well. What do you recommend for overlay designs and how have you been? I've been well. Thank you very much for asking. Shout out to the family. I hope they are well too. I'm very, very well. As you can see. What I'm using for overlay designs, so this stuff all around me, like up here and down here, I've actually been using the iPad, and I've been using the iPad and an app called Procreate. And then what we do is I actually took a photograph of what this looks like. I actually made it full screen, screenshotted it, brought it in as a layer, and then turned it down and then wrote all this up. I'm showing you all behind this curtain stuff, but that's what Ask Me Anything's about. And then I basically overlaid it and there's another layer, and then I took the background picture away, and then I saved it as a PNG, and then I uploaded it, and now it's here. So I can turn that off. This background, this actual background, this pinkish background that's all around, this is part of Restream. I can change that. I can have it looking like that, or I can have it looking like that, or I can put one of my own on the background, which is what you saw before. But this is nice. I think it's quite cute. And then I've got another overlay here. I've got another overlay that goes over the top here as well. This is Restream's own one in the corner. So yeah, overlay wise, I've been using that. If you're not sure how to use something like that, or you don't have access to an iPad but you do have a computer, one that I would highly recommend is Canva, Canva, canva.com. It's completely free, and then you can they have literally, you can search sort of like overlays or YouTube end cards or anything like that. Canva's really cool. Another one is InVideo. So I think it's invideo.io. Is it IO? I'll check it out. But they're very good as well. It is invideo.io, yeah. And Canva is canva.com. They are basically they have loads of templates. So in the search bar, you just put YouTube, or put overlays, or put marketing, whatever you want to do, and then you can take every element away. So you can make it like, for example, this one I just made green screen and I just took the green out. Simple as that. So that's quite useful. So yes, so I need to try Restream. That looks great. Thanks. The only thing I would like, and if Restream are listening, the only thing I would like is when you put the chat up here in the corner, is it makes me go smaller. What I'd like to do is have the chat as an overlay, maybe on the back of the Mac. I think that'd be quite nice, like sort of overlaid. But yeah, if you turn the chat off, the other thing that happens as well, not that you're turning the chat off, but if I'm make the chat disappear from the screen, then when I bring it back, all the previous chats have gone. So it's just something that obviously they're working on, and you can see basically that it comes through like this. So I really like the fact that you've got different people. So at the moment you can see people from Facebook, from YouTube, obviously, and then even Twitch as well. If someone on Twitch wants to say hi, it'll come in. I'm even on Periscope. Can't remember the last time I used Periscope, but I'm on Periscope, and it's pushing this exactly same stream. So if you're just joining us, welcome, good evening. We're now at 9 o'clock. Bong. This is a Ask Me Anything live. So ask me anything you like. Whether how I've been, for example. So Rani asked me how I'm at. I'm fine. I'm great. Thank you very much. It's all good. YouTube's taken up a lot of my time, but it's good. It's one of these things where, as a musician, you just kind of want to go, I just want to play music, but at the same time, pubs aren't open. They haven't been for a year now. For musicians, it's hard. It's real hard. So, doing stuff like this is an alternative where, you can reap the benefits of obviously, multi-streaming and doing YouTube videos. So if you do want to sponsor me, you can do. You can basically buy me a coffee and keep this going. So, you never know. If this all goes swimmingly, like massively, maybe I'll have the gig just once a year. But obviously, if you want to do that, you can do. Or if you're on YouTube, if you want to, when you type in a little comment, you'll notice a little $ next to that. That's called Super Chat. And what you can do is you can send me Super Chat, and that goes directly to me. You don't have to do that, though. That is just obviously a little addition. But you can do that, and obviously that helps me out as well. What's this? Ron. I find Twitch so confusing. I'm trying to make the jump from Facebook Live. Yeah, Facebook Live. So Facebook Live, I think they are doing stuff real big now where they're really clamping down on things. So I think it was a little bit like the Wild West. But now there's certain things, certainly if you're playing music or you're playing backing tracks and things like that, they'll mute your live stream. That's hard. Certainly when you're just trying to entertain people. So yeah, with Twitch obviously was predominantly there for gamers and still is, but then there is a whole music element of it as well if you want to do that. And yeah, there's loads out there. For me, predominantly it's YouTube, and then obviously I've got a Facebook page. So this is being streamed out to a Facebook page, not just Facebook itself, and then streaming out to Twitch as well. So with my Twitch account, I'm on it, but I'm not on it anywhere near as much as I am on things like YouTube, because that's my main outlet at the moment, with all my videos and things like that. So that's my primary, as it were. So let's have a look. There you go. Just to show you, it does work. Ronnie's just jumped over to Twitch, and you can see there, I predominantly use Twitch, but yeah, YouTube is great too. So you can see there, that's actually coming from Twitch. I love this multi-chat. It's great because if there's people chatting, you go, oh, I missed that, or I need about 4 screens to see everyone's chat. This is fantastic. I love it. I think it's really simple from my end to use. All I've got to do is click the button, and it brings your comment up if I want to highlight that comment. It's really cool. So guys, if you want to, you can obviously support me in lots of different ways. But the other thing as well is this is a live stream that's sponsored, and it's sponsored by DistroKid. This is a distribution company. So what's a distribution company? They are a company where you give your music to them. You keep 100% of the royalties, you keep 100% of your rights, which is really important these days. And they then push your music out to different places. There are over, I think it's 110, isn't it now? 120 different streaming sites and music services around the world, and it's growing. And obviously the big ones are Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music in the UK, Pandora in the US, and these guys can push it out to everyone. And what they also do as well is they have loads of promo stuff, which is free. It's part and parcel of their stuff. They've now done this thing called YouTube DistroKid Upstream, which is where if you want to stay independent, you can, but upstream you can actually start pushing yourself out to labels as well. So think about your albums, think about your music, think about the music you're going to make in 2021. Make a commitment to how much music you're going to create. And then what you can do is you can push it out to these guys. Now, a lot of places will actually charge you per upload. So if you upload an album, they'll charge you a fee. These guys, what DistroKid do is they charge you 1 fee per year for as many tracks as you want. Now think about that, not just your albums, your EPs, your singles, your LPs, your live streams. You could do that, your live shows, you could record them and send them out, and these guys will do it, and it's one price per year, and it's $19.99. It's $20. So in the UK, it's about £16. And with this link, what I can do is I can save you 7% off that as well. So if you click the link, it is in the description box on Facebook and YouTube as well. Let me just check that. Yes, it is. It's in the description box. If you click that link, that'll give you 7%. Different tiers again, but I'm on the label tier because I've got a couple of different outlets. So there's me, I've got a duo that I'm part of, which is Tokyo Wasteland, an old duo, which is the Black Bag Project, they're out there as well, and they're all go through DistroKid. And there's me and my own stuff. So it's basically 7% off $80, and $80 at the end of the day, if I can gain that back on making music, certainly on $20, easily do that, no problem, and it just pay you back by PayPal. It's dead easy. So that's the sponsor, but also this show is Ask Me Anything. Ask me anything you like. Now let's go back to the chat. Let's have a look what's going on. Captain Sideways. I like that. I could see a like a kids cartoon show. Captain Sideways. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry. I've been mostly Windows based, but I have an old iMac in storage, 2007 maybe. I upgraded it with SSD and 6 gig of RAM. Do you think it'll do just for learning? On sense, yeah. The only downside you'll have is obviously from a sense of security, and I don't want to go too deep into that, but there'll be a point where you can't use the newer stuff, and this is with everything. It's whether it's PC or Mac. If you've got something here and everyone minimum is here, it can't be used. It's worth dusting it off, find out, see if it works. If it works, that's great. My iMac, this thing, is 2013, so it's not the latest Mac. It's not like the M1 chip or anything like that. It's been going now for like 8 years. It's still running smoothly. I've upgraded the RAM because it's the 27-inch you can do, the 21-inch you can't. So the 27-inch got a little flap at the back. So the RAM on it, I haven't changed the Fusion drive that's in there in 2013. And it works. It works. It works quite well. So it works very well. In fact, it's actually created my albums. So yeah, there we go. So it just depends on what you want to do. So what I'm going to do, there we go. I know on YouTube, by just a slight apology, we're having a little bit of streaming glitchiness. So thank you very much for hanging on in there. Just let me know, obviously, if everything's okay. So there we go. Hi, regular start. Hello. Good evening. How are you? Thirsty work, all this talking. So I hope everyone's all right on a Saturday night. In the UK, we're still in full lockdown, and the pubs have not been open for musicians to play for. We're coming up to a year, which is a sad, 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 sad sight. I hope musicians get to perform either live or in live streaming, lots of different ways. I hope so. I really, really hope so. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically show you a couple of different things. Now, first of all, as I said to you, this is being done through Restream.io. And what you can do is, if you do want to start streaming, Restream is free, completely free. There is watermarks on there that they put their own branding on there, but you can take that off by paying. And we have a link there. Oh, sorry, I put the link away. Restream.io/join/John Paul Music UK, and that gives you $10 of Restream credits to go towards your new stuff. So let's have a quick look. There you go. I must say, Ranny, I must say the audio sounds great tonight. Do you have any OBS EQ tips? Ooh, nice one. So OBS is a fantastic piece of kit. If you're not sure what that is, that's Open Broadcast Software. It's a free download, PC and Mac. It is better on PC. There are more features on PC, I'd probably say, than there are on the Mac. You can put the chat side by side on there, but I can overlay it in the window, but you can put it actually so so your audience don't see it, but you still do. It's really good. There's loads. It's like a blank palette where you can actually skin stuff on top of, and loads of people use it for gaming. For EQing, what I would do is, first of all, the reason why it sounds great is because of my dulcet tones. No, I'm joking. The reason it sounds great is this microphone, and this microphone is a where are we? The Aston mic, the Aston Stealth, and it's a fantastic condenser microphone that won NAMM 2020, and really, really good for the best microphone. So that's it, done. Had to get it, and it's a really, really cool piece of kit. And going into an audio interface, and then that's just going through there. Now, for EQing on OBS, you can do that. So there's a little menu on OBS where you can actually click the menu, and you can there's a menu for the audio. So you can go into that, and there's an option for filters, and they call them filters. I don't know why they call them filters, but they do. And you can add a filter. I don't like calling it that. And audio people, that freaks people out. It's like, what do you mean filter? But filters are plugins probably. That's probably the best way of putting it. So you could add a plugin. So you could add EQ plugins. So if you've got AUV3 plugins, or you've got plugins from things like Logic or Pro Tools or anything like that, you can add it in to OBS, and then you can start using that for the microphone or for the input. So yeah, so my best advice is to add on a plugin, or a filter as they call it, on the audio side. You can do that. So go to the audio mixer, little gear, click filters, and then you can add in a plugin. So if you've got something like that, and you can get some free EQ plugins which are really, really good. I've just read that. That's cool. Oh, you're talking about my dulcet tones. Sadly, genetics didn't give me those. Oh, that's okay. We could always put a voice changer on if you want. So cool. Regular start. It's the weekend, man. Yes, it is. And how are you? I'm very well. How are you? I hope you're well. And I hope everyone is as well. So thank you very much for joining me on here. This is I Ask Me Anything weekend. So you'll be able to obviously have a go. So there we go. Which third-party plugins do you recommend for that? Got OBS open now to have a look through it. Rani, if I open OBS right now, it's going to shut my stream down. So I can't open it right now. But I'll tell you what, obviously, I've got your number. As I know personally, I will give you a message and let you know. But then if you've got third-party plugins, so I'll give you an example. The Focusrite 2i2 comes with some downloadable plugins, got EQ, compression, things like that. But you can get plugins from things like GarageBand's got plugins, and you can get the plugins from them and put them on. If you're on Windows, if you're using something like Reaper, which is completely free, that comes with a couple of plugins. So use things like that and then grab the plugins from there. When you go into the settings, Rani, what you should be able to find is there's an option for plugins, and if you click it, it'll just come with the list that you've got inside your computer. But if you just you know full well all you need, and I know because all you need really is EQ, compression. Okay, they're the two things you'll need just for voice if you're just going to be talking. A little bit of EQ, a little bit of compression, maybe a gate on there if there's loads of background noise. So, but if there isn't, then EQ and compression. That's all you need for a little bit of talking on live streaming, because it's compressed anyway. So it gets compressed and pushed through on to things like this, like Restream and Facebook and YouTube and all that jazz. So a little bit of EQ, a little bit of compression, just to push your voice up a little bit and just make it a little bit louder, and then you can push it out. Now, a nice microphone like this really, really helps. It's not the be all and end all. You can do it with a normal microphone like an SM58, no problem. So you're welcome, no problem at all. I gotta thank you. You're welcome. Cool. Regular start. That's a good question. Do you like YouTube? Now, I am it's weird to say I'm a YouTuber, but I am with over 6,500 subscribers and doing at least now a video a week. Yeah, I do like YouTube a lot. It does have its challenges, but it's one of those things where it is what it is. You can do YouTube completely without a computer. Every video that's been edited on YouTube, this might shock people, it's been edited on an iPad. It's not been edited on this. It's been edited on an iPad with an iOS app. That's it. So you can always ask me about that. Let's have a look. Urban Vanilla. If you could use only one iOS looper app with AUM, which one would it be and why? Oh. Well, you've kind of alluded to the fact that you want to use it with AUM. So all you need is a looper. You don't need a looper with effects, because AUM you can put effects on top. So if you're just looking for a dedicated looper, me personally, it's Loopy HD. Loopy HD is the one I know the most. That's the reason why. There's loads of new features in the L7 looper. There's an update to that, which is really good. So the L7 looper by Audio Kit Pro, those guys are fantastic, and they just keep evolving stuff, which is really cool. But the top three I would go for. Oh, hang on, I've just thought of another one. Don't ask me about looping. I don't know looping. No, I do. Loopy HD is my top. But then if you want to diverse from that, if you go, God, I hate it, then here's a couple more for you. I expected as much. Yeah, well, there you go. Quantaloop is the nearest one to looking like one of these, like a pedal board, if that's what you want. If you want more than 2 or 3 tracks, 4 tracks, then don't look at Quantaloop, look at something else. L7, different way of looking at it. It's like long bars are going across as opposed to circles going round or anything like that. And then Group the Loop. Group the Loop is really, really cool. Yeah, Loopy Pro. Don't talk to me about Loopy Pro. Michael, who makes Loopy HD, I've chatted with him a long time ago, and it was Loopy HD Ultimate version or Ultimate Edition or something like that originally. Now we're calling it Loopy Pro, and it's been years in the making. It literally has been years, and he's got an amazing sound engine that uses very little data. So technically wise, it means you can do multiples of the same thing without having too much load on your iPhone or your iPad. I've done gigs with Loopy HD, with just literally Loopy HD plugged into an audio interface and a microphone. I've got a video about how I do that, and it's all on one mic stand. And I did it as at a gig, and I did a half-hour set with just Loopy HD and a microphone, and it was fantastic. It was great. You can add things on like Bluetooth pedal boards and things like that. You've got things like this, which I'm going to go into this in a second. I'm just going to talk about what this black box is because I haven't talked about it yet. I'm so glad that Mr. Pete Jones is in the house. How are you, mate? I hope you're well. Other side of the world, how are you? It's lovely, lovely, lovely to see, and it's really, really positive to see that Mr. Jones basically has put stuff up on YouTube, on social media, that there's gigs happening, that they're going out to see live stuff again. It's not happening here, and I hope it does here. So I'm really, really hoping that we get back to some kind of, original way we were living. So yeah. Urban Vanilla, yes, he says sometime this year. I hope this year's the year for Loopy Pro. I will be on it. I will be so on it. I will be so. I want to be so quick to bring out a tutorial for Loopy Pro if he brings it out finally, because I'll be like, right, what's the difference? What's the difference between Loopy HD and Loopy Pro? That's a big thing. Right now, I hope Pete is still here because I want his attention. If that's okay. What is your favorite color? Ooh. I just got a question on Facebook. What is your favorite color? My favorite color is orange. And I didn't pause there deliberately. No, I did. My favorite color is orange. I love orange. It's as simple as that. I even have a Loopy HD, a How Do You Loop T-shirt in orange, which is my own T-shirt, which you can buy from teespring.com. So I want to basically just show off this piece of kit, and this piece of kit I bought only last week, and it is fundamentally amazing. If you are someone with a lot of pedals, or you've got a pedal board and you want to control it, this is an absolute monster. This is called the Morningstar MC8. This is its flagship. They do the Morningstar MC3 and the MC6. What is it? This one's an 8-button. The MC3 is 3-button. The MC6 is 6 buttons. But basically, this is 8 buttons. And what it does is it sends out MIDI signals to anything. And I mean anything. So if I click this one button, I can send 16 MIDI signals to 16 different places at once. And it has 30 banks of this. What is this going to do for you? Well, basically what this does is all of these ports are expression, OGS, and MIDI out all at the same time. So I could put an expression pedal in, I could have MIDI out, which is TRS, by the way. So TRS and mini TRS. I've got normal MIDI as well. USB MIDI as well. This thing is the most underrated thing I've seen in the late 2020 to 2021. And when I saw the videos on it, I was like, no, surely it can't do that. And I saw a guy with 6 different pedals on a pedal board. He pressed one button and the whole thing changed. And I was like, that's what loopers need. And loop artists who've got something like this, you got an RC5 and this. Look at the size of that. I'm just gonna put these side by side. Look at the size of that, right? That could be your entire pedal board. That's it. Because this could do every command. There's 8 signs with MIDI in and MIDI out on this, and I could do so many different signs on this. So really, really good. So I'm going to be doing a video on this on the Morningstar MC8. If you haven't seen one of these, go and check Morningstar out. fabulous guys, and they keep updating it and they keep upgrading it, and they listen to the feedback of people who are using it. So amazing piece of kit. Really, really, really cool. Regular start. You ask me anything. This is Ask Me Anything, so let's go. Name 5 pizza toppings. My pizza toppings are bacon, cheese, pepperoni, sausage, and olives. Name them, or what are my favourites? I can name loads if you want me to. You like orange as well. Oh, good. There we go. And blue. Okay, cool. Rani, lovely to see you. Thank you very much for being on Twitch. We are actually live streaming on Twitch, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Periscope, and also LinkedIn as well. So if you want to basically give us a shout out, say hello, you're more than welcome to. This is a sponsored live stream, which is sponsored by the guys at DistroKid. So thank you very much, DistroKid, for sponsoring us. And this is basically a link there where you can actually distribute your music for basically $20 a year. You can do as many as you want. And this is my here, which gives 7. Thank you, Siri. Where you can get 7% off your first annual membership. So the loads we can do. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do that. We go. Right. So there's loads you can do. So we've got obviously live looping, and we're talking about looping here. So Loopy Pro, if you're not familiar or don't know what Loopy Pro is, Loopy HD, I've done videos on it. Just put Loopy HD into YouTube. You'll see me. I'm number 1 on there because I did a tutorial on it and it's done very, very well. And Loopy Pro is basically the guy who made it's called Michael, and Michael's been talking about Loopy Pro for years. And hopefully, as he said this is the year he wants to bring Loopy Pro out. I hope he does. I really, really hope he does. And there we go. And it's just basically that I want to make sure that, like, you know, if he's doing it, like, I know the audio engine is going to be fantastic because of the way he does stuff, which is really cool. But yeah, I'm all up on that. I'm really happy that if he basically does that, it's going to be fantastic. Right, just need to change something on my iPad. Let's just do that. There we go. Right. So this is Ask Anything. As I say, you can ask me anything you want if you want to ask. So name 5 pizza toppings. Name your pizza toppings. So regular start. I'm going to go with goat cheese. Oh, yeah, I went there. I'm going to go with tomato. I'm going to go with pineapple, and that's when everyone leaves because I'm one of those people that does actually like pineapple. Spinach. And then I'm going to go with the chicken. It sounds boring, but I love it. There we go. That's what I like. Everyone's different. They all have their own things. So there's loads, obviously, that we can talk about. If you want to talk about live streaming, please let me know. I'm actually using Restream.io, and I'm not using OBS or Streamlabs or anything like that. I'm just using Restream.io and their thing, which is basically their studio. They have the Restream Studio, and this is the Restream Studio Pro, and I've made these little cards and stuff to go on it, and you can see the chat there, which is cool. And I can do things like share my screen and stuff. So we were talking about overlays. Now this is an overlay, so where I've put John Paul music and live, you can see it's like dipping over onto the screen there. So I've actually made that through just drawing it on my iPad and then making sure that the background wasn't there, and then just saving it as a PNG. So then it's transparent and you just add it on, which is cool. So that's a really cool thing you can do. Once you're using something like Restream Studio Pro, you can upload your own overlays, you can upload your own background drops. They even have their own video. You can put a video out, which I'm not going to do. I haven't done that. I've got my own logo, so I can bring the logo in, but it kind of blocks the chat, so I didn't really want to do that. So there's loads going on. Let's have a quick look. There we go. So, guys, if you are interested, obviously, in any kind of live streaming or live streaming software or anything like that, or you want to talk about that, or if you want to talk about looping or the Morning Star or the Headrush looper board, please hit me up in the chat. We've got about 10-15 minutes left before I have to go. But if you do want to, then of course you can grab this link, again sponsored by DistroKid, and then also if you want to support me and the channel, the YouTube channel, this is where I predominantly am, then what you can do is you can buy me a coffee. Buy me a coffee helps my channel stay alive, and to those who already have, thank you very much. So buy me a coffee /John Paul Music UK. Now, the other thing as well that I launched last week is on YouTube is the membership, and next door to the subscribe button, there's a join button. What that is basically where you can actually join me, and you can actually do it's £2.99. I have to put it in pounds on because I'm in the UK. But it's £2.99 a month, and what you're going to get is basically if I release a video, I would say on a Friday, but I've already uploaded it on Tuesday. You're going to get it on the Tuesday. You're going to get it basically. Members will get it the day it's uploaded, not the day I'm going to schedule it to drop. So if I go, I'm going to drop it on Friday, then for the weekend, then you'll get it a couple of days early. So I'm just going to do that for now. I may obviously, well, no, I am going to start bringing in new tiers, and I've already got them planned. So I'm going to bring in new tiers throughout 2021. But for now, we're just going to do that one. That one's called Caffeine Drinker because I am, and it keeps me going. So if you want to do that, you do. That's great. You don't have to, of course, but it's just a fantastic thing to keep the channel going. Let's have a quick look. Where are we in the chat? But oh, cool. Right. So, by the way, really liked all your Looper app videos. Was very informative. Cool. Thank you very much. The thing with looping is I want everyone to have a go. And I get when I do gigs with live loopers, like I use the big. I am going to lift it again. I said I wasn't going to lift it, but I am. It's so heavy. The Headrush looper board. Now, this is my monster. This is my baby. That I am constantly tweaking and playing with for live gigs. But obviously, we haven't gigged live for over a year. Pete, if you're still on the chat, are you? I know you've been out, sort of like playing, but are you gigging yet? I hope so. But yeah, so I want everyone to have a go. Now that's very expensive. These are quite expensive. That's not so bad. That's quite cheap for what it is. Well, for what you can get, what's inside this is amazing. Really, 32-bit audio, MIDI, 99 memories, 13 hours record time. It's insane. But if you just want to have a go and you've got an iPhone, things like Loopy HD, things like the L7 Looper, things like Quantaloop, you're getting access to these really cool looping machines that you'd normally have to pay hundreds of pounds for, that are like a couple of quid. So that's really, really cool. I like that. Hence the previous question. Right, that's why you like it. Cool. So yeah, no, I've done quite a few looping videos, and I like to go through tutorials to say, well, this is how you do it. This is how you start. So when I just dropped this one on, well, Friday, Thursday, Friday, I dropped this one. It really was a how do you plug in, how do you start looping, and it is just a one button thing. And I know these have been around for a little while now. They started with the RC1 or 2, was it, and the RC3, and then they did the RC3 first, and then they did the RC1 as a really basic one, and then this is their best single looper pedal, as it were, which is the RC5. But loads of people go, that's cool, but how do you make a loop? Like they see all these cool features, but they don't say, well, how do you make a loop? How do you undo a loop? How do you clear a loop? So that's what I like to do. I like to break that down, just based on that. Now things like this, which I'm just going to unplug because it's all little TRS jack things now. This thing can expand that really massively. Now there's a couple of versions of these as well. This is the Boss dual foot switch. This is the FS7. So these two together are pretty cool because you plug this in. It's actually even written on here that this will turn into stop and memory shift. But you can actually make it do anything because you can reprogram this and you can reprogram these. So these two together live are really cool. Now it's only one loop, but you can do overdubs and you can do an undo and a redo. If you time it right, then it's kind of like having a dual looper, but not. But this can work with the RC500. It can work with anything really because it's literally a pedal that you can just basically do. You can change the polarity so it works as momentary or lapse, which is cool. But then you've got things like the RC30, the RC500, the RC300. You've got all these Boss ones. You've got the Voice Live 3. You've got the TC Helicon stuff, which I've used for quite some time, and I used it for looping. But the vocals on them, the effects on them are fantastic, and I won't have anyone say otherwise. So let's have a quick look. I found the biggest challenge with looping so far is getting the first loop timing down, regardless of loop. Sometimes I just load a drum loop sample. Right, now, I'm so glad you brought this up. Literally 2 hours ago, before this live stream, I loaded up a 1-minute video, which is a short, about how you can actually get the timing bang on one of these. and one of them. So they have, when you press this button down, loop, and you're going to start your loop, then what that does is it kicks in and goes record right now. What most people do is they go click, and they panic, and they're either playing, they get a rhythm going, and then they've got to practice with their feet. This also has rhythm built into it, and so does this. They have rhythms built into them. They have a beat. They have a drum beat into them, and as you click it, the drum beat can kick in. That's fine. It also has a pre-roll, like a 1 bar pre-roll, but that's like panicky. That's like, oh my god, 4 bars on 4 beats and 4 clicks and I'm in. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, here we go. And again, that's panicky. So what you can do is you can change this. So when you click it, it doesn't begin recording. What it does is it starts the rhythm fully, properly. So then you can just go click, start the rhythm. The rhythm goes for a little while. That's cool. And then what you do is then after that, you then click it again, and that's when you start looping. And here's the kicker, and that was pun intended, that you don't have to click it on bar 1, beat 1. You can click it like bar 4 or beat 3 or beat 2 or beat 1. As long as it's past the second beat, you can basically click it and it'll load it to click in on bar 1, beat 1, because the beat's already going, so it knows the bars, knows the beats. There's 99 memories in this, 13-hour record time, so you can set this up so literally like each one of them, you can name them. There's a little LCD display, so you can name them and say, well, this one is, I don't know, Tom Petty Free Falling, right? Let's just say that. 3 chords all the way through. You can do it. I do it a lot. Tom Petty Free Falling. Set the actual rhythm and tempo at home. Set it all down. Write it to the track. Done. And then in the setting of that one, oh, that was my ring on metal. Ooh, that was quite loud. On the setting of that one, you say, well, before loop for the rhythm. And then what you do is you just click it, and you just got the drum beat going, and then you click it again, you start looping. And then you click it again a third time, and then you go into overdub play mode. But that's the first beat, and that's the hard. You're right. That's the hardest bit. Urban is it is the hardest part to get down, and you'll find a lot with my performance videos. See my videos on YouTube and on Facebook. When I've done performance with looping, you'll see that I'll be like getting a rhythm going first, and then I record. So maybe 2 or 4 bars I'm going in for it. I have to be pretty rare or brave to kind of go straight in on it. So yeah, the biggest challenge, I agree with you. After all that talking, I agree with you that the biggest challenge for looping is getting that first loop timing down. And it is just down to practice. It is really down to just practice. Right, so guys, I'm going to basically just give you one more thing. This live stream has been sponsored by DistroKid, which is a distribution company to get your music out there in the world to things like Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon Music, and lots of others. So we have a link at the bottom here. So if you give that a click, that gives you 7% off the first annual membership. And the first annual membership is $20 a year. It can be $20 a year every year, but we can give you 7% off the first one if you want to do that. And thank you very much for DistroKid for sponsoring this live stream. This is Ask Me Anything, John Paul Music UK, and I am John Paul. So guys, thank you very much. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you for asking the question. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these as well over the coming year. So if you guys have got questions you've thought of, then either drop them in a relevant video. So, Urban, if you've got a question about Quantaloop and you forgot to ask me, go to the Quantaloop video and just drop it there, and then I'll be able to answer it for you. Or just obviously wait until I'm live again and come and ask me a question. I'm going to try and be as live as much as possible. The next live I'm going to be doing is going to be all about looping. It is going to be all about looping, and I'm not going to be sitting here. I'm going to be on the other side of the room, rigged up, ready to go, as if I'm doing a live gig. And then I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to show you how it all works. I'm going to show you how I do looping, and break all that down. Now, if you're not into looping, that's fine. You don't have to watch that particular one. Or maybe you go, do you know what? I've never wanted to ask. I've been too afraid to ask because it's a bit of a daunting thing. And fear not, that's what I'm here for. So if you guys have got any more questions, please put them in the chat now. And thank you very much for those who have already chatted away. I do love this. I love this thing where you can see basically the chat, and it's different people and different places. So Twitch, Facebook, YouTube. It's really, really cool. And this is all done through Restream.io, which is really cool. So, guys, if you want to, of course, you can super chat me on YouTube just to say thank you or to ask me a question. That'll go straight to the top. Or what you can do is you can support the channel by buying me a coffee. buymeacoffee.com/John Paul Music UK, and that keeps the channel going by buying me a coffee and making sure the caffeine is in my system. The other way you can do that is on YouTube. I now have a join page, as well as subscribe. So if you have subscribed and you consider joining the membership, and the membership is £2.99 a month, and what that does is it gives you access to basically the videos as I put them on YouTube, not the date that I'm scheduling it out. So for example, if I was going to put a video out on Friday and I actually upload it on the Tuesday beforehand, you get it on the Tuesday because it's there right away for the members. So if you do want to go for that, obviously have a look, and I'm going to be bringing out some more stuff over the coming year. So, guys, thank you very much for. I can't see any more questions, so I'm going to wrap this up if that's okay. But thank you very much for coming in to the live stream today. And if you do have any other questions, obviously, or if you've forgotten one, this live stream will be available on Facebook and YouTube as a Restream. So you'll be able to play this on the replay and just go back over. Or if you just want to hit me up in the comments, you can do. So, guys, I'm going to just do this. And bird ump. So thank you very much for watching, and guys, have a fantastic evening and a great weekend. Bye.